Major Garrett is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Major?
Well, Elaine, this story has taken a lot of directions in just a couple of hours. First, you had Trump's statement, which elicited reactions almost immediately from Hillary Clinton and sympathetic Democrats, and a very slow-footed response from the Trump campaign, one that was utterly unresponsive to the underlying charge itself, which is, even by implication, Trump was suggesting violence against the Democratic nominee. Trump addressed it in that interview clip you just played. Subsequently, I was able to talk to senior Trump strategist Jason Miller, who said Trump never meant anything of the kind, and suggestions otherwise, meaning that there was some sort of hint at maybe calling for violence against Hillary Clinton, was outrageous and ridiculous. And Jason Miller told me that he was surprised reporters were falling for it. But there is a larger context around this story, Elaine, and it is that which Trump has to take some responsibility for. There is a sense that his rhetoric sometimes is not only incautious, but maybe unintentionally inciting of all sorts of feelings, some of them violent, some of them not so violent, but is unintentionally playing on either fears or hostilities in the American electorate. And Trump has been here before with accusations of this kind, and what he found himself in today was a remark that he believes to be innocent and benign, but those who heard it, and it's worth pointing out that many who did hear it and jumped to a different conclusion have political motivations of their own, heard it and reacted to it differently. Trump talked here just a few moments ago in Fayetteville about the Second Amendment, about the Supreme Court, and about Hillary Clinton, saying many of the same things he said earlier today, but not that remark about what Second Amendment people could do about this in some other context. So he has veered away from that particular point, but nevertheless tries to make the point about gun rights in America, the Supreme Court, and Hillary Clinton. One last point, Elaine, because this is worth dealing with. Trump loves to say that Hillary Clinton would abolish or essentially abolish the Second Amendment. As you might expect, the Hillary Clinton campaign fights back against that aggressively, saying yes, she is for gun control measures proposed and supported by President Obama, and has been skeptical of a Supreme Court decision in the District of Columbia that pronounced an absolute right to bear firearms within the District of Columbia, but does not want to abolish the Second Amendment. This is a point of contestation between the two campaigns. But when Trump says that, as he glibly does over and over and over again, that Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment, that requires some clarification as well.
Well, Major, switching gears here, looking at sort of the larger picture, we seem to be going from one controversy to the next with this campaign, and now we are seeing some of these poll numbers, particularly these recent numbers in these battleground states, showing that perhaps Hillary Clinton might have a way in to some places that are traditionally Republican strongholds. How concerned is the Trump campaign as they watch some of these polling numbers go down for Donald Trump?
Well, they know they're in a very negative place right now, that the polling data is showing a trend line toward Hillary Clinton and away from Donald Trump. They can't ignore that. They can't pretend that's not happening. All that they can fall back on is what campaigns have to fall back on in times like this. There's still time to change the trajectory. There's still time to bounce back in the race. And maybe polling data will indicate after some period of time that Trump is bouncing back. But until that evidence begins to show itself or reveal itself, either nationally or in swing state polls, Trump is in a bad place. His campaign knows it, and they were hoping for a second day in a row, relatively disciplined, relatively on message. But as has been so often true, Elaine, that is an unpredictable quality to Donald Trump. Even when his campaign and those closest to him urge him to stay on message, he does not, and finds himself in situations that, if only momentarily, create tremendous controversy, they do. And that's become a reality for Donald Trump almost since the time he entered this race. As a matter of fact, the very first day he entered the race, June 16th of last year, when his opening statement referred to Mexicans as rapists and drug dealers, et cetera, et cetera. So this has been a constant for Trump. It's now a constant source of concern, and it may become a constant source of momentum for Hillary Clinton.
Major, before we let you go, I want to ask you about the debates. Donald Trump, as you well know, has been critical of the timing of the 3 scheduled presidential debates. He says he'll do them, but may try to negotiate the terms. I wonder, Major, what is your take on that?
Well, that Trump wants to always remind his supporters that he is the person who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, that he is a deal maker, he's a negotiator, and he wants to change things to his benefit if he can. What's interesting about this is Hillary Clinton has already said she's committed to the 3 debates as scheduled. She'll be there. She's ready to go, conveying to her supporters that she's not afraid of getting in the ring with Donald Trump to debate him on any of these issues. And if you talk to Trump supporters and those in the campaign, they know once the fall campaign goes, you can have rallies, but the next great turning point, if it is going to be one, in this race will potentially be the 1st and 2nd, possibly the 3rd debate. That will be a place where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton for the first time will go toe-to-toe. The Trump campaign assumes there's a potential upside there, but his reticence to deal with the debates as scheduled, as announced, suggests maybe he wants something else out of it. Maybe he just wants to grab a little bit more publicity. But Hillary Clinton's eagerness for those debates indicates she's ready, wants to keep the momentum going, and is not afraid of dealing with Trump face-to-face on the debate stage.
All right, Major Garrett on the campaign trail in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Major, thank you.
Sure.